you're not alone. Millions of people over 60 live with joint pain. And while it may be common, it's not normal. Or better said, it's not inevitable. This silent pain creeps in little by little. First, it's a discomfort when climbing stairs. Then comes the difficulty holding a cup steadily, or the feeling that your ankles lock up after sitting for too long. It's as if your body is trying to send a message, and out of habit we choose to ignore it. But what if I told you that there are small actions, truly simple ones, things anyone can do at home, that have the power to ease this pain? And more than that, they don't involve expensive medication, side effects, or endless doctor visits. Today I want to talk with you about exactly that, about 3 habits that, when done consistently, can transform how your body feels and how you move every single day. Let's talk calmly, like in a good conversation between friends, because I know that at this stage of life we're tired of magical promises. What we want is clarity, care, and solutions that make sense in real life, where we don't always have extra energy or time for complications. So, stay here with me. You know that stiffness in your knee that makes you say, "It's just my age"? I understand. But more often than not, that pain has more to do with what you do, or don't do, every day than with the number of candles on your birthday cake. One thing people rarely tell you is that your body needs movement. But not just any movement. You don't have to become an athlete or join a gym. What really makes a difference is gentle, frequent, conscious movement. I like to call it moving with kindness. It might be a light walk around your home or down the block, climbing up and down 2 steps a few times, or simply standing up from your chair every 30 minutes to stretch your arms. The secret is not letting your body forget that it was made to move. Because when we stop, the body sees it as a signal. Oh, they're not using this anymore. Then let's shut this function down. And that's where stiffness begins. First, it's subtle. Then it settles in. And the pain? It comes right behind it. I once met Mr. João, for example. He's 77 and lives alone. For a long time, he thought he was taking it easy by spending most of his day sitting, watching TV. But after a few weeks of hip pain and struggling to even put on his shoes, he decided to change. Nothing extreme. He set a reminder on his phone to get up every 40 minutes, take a lap down the hallway, move his arms, stretch his shoulders. 2 months later, he told me with a smile on his face, "The pain has calmed down. It hasn't disappeared completely, but now I can sweep the porch without needing to stop halfway." Do you see it? It's the little things that make a big difference when they become part of your routine. Now that we've talked about how gentle movement can ease joint pain, I want to share something you might not have thought about before. Sometimes what your body needs most isn't strength. It's gentleness. Gentleness with yourself, with how you move, with what you put on your plate, and even with the time you take to breathe deeply and listen inward. Let me share a story. The other day, I met Donna Clara, a 72-year-old woman I spoke with during a light walk in the park. She said something I've carried with me ever since. "I used to take pain medicine every day. Now I drink ginger tea and stretch while listening to music. The pain hasn't vanished, but now it respects me." What wisdom. According to her, the pain learned to respect the moments when she respects herself too. That's exactly what I want to talk to you about now. The second simple, but powerful, habit that can relieve your pain without a single pill. And it starts right in your kitchen. Maybe you've heard that certain foods help reduce inflammation in the body. And it's true, but I'm not talking about complicated diets or hard-to-follow meal plans. I'm talking about small swaps. You know that white bread in the morning? How about replacing it with oats or real whole grain bread, the darker kind with seeds? And that margarine? Have you considered using extra virgin olive oil instead? Processed foods, those loaded with sugar and trans fats, act like fuel for inflammation in your joints. But fruits, vegetables, seeds, herbal teas, turmeric, even good old garlic, these are quiet friends to your joints, and the best part? They've always been part of our traditional table, part of our roots. You don't need expensive products or trendy fads. You just need to return to what's simple. One example, ginger tea with lemon. So easy to make. It's a natural anti-inflammatory. It warms the body, and it brings a lightness you can feel in your fingers, your knees, your shoulders, wherever pain likes to linger. You can also add a small handful of Brazil nuts or walnuts to your daily routine. These small choices are like gentle caresses for your body. And before you wonder, but does this really work? Let me tell you, it does. It truly does. But just like anything natural and gentle, it needs consistency. It's like planting a flower. You water it today and it won't bloom tomorrow. But if you keep caring for it, one day the whole garden will respond. Now, there's something no one tells you, but I will. The third habit may seem like the simplest of all, but it's the one we forget the most. Quality rest. Sleeping well is like taking your body to an invisible spa every night. During sleep, your body works to reduce inflammation, regenerate tissue, and clear toxins. But if you sleep poorly, all of that natural healing gets interrupted. And it's not just about how many hours you sleep, okay? Many people spend 8 hours in bed and still wake up tired, in pain, and irritable. The secret is in the quality of that sleep. So I want to invite you to try something simple. Half an hour before going to bed, turn off the TV, put away your phone, dim the lights. Create a ritual of calm. It could be a warm tea, a prayer, soft music, whatever soothes your soul. Your body needs to understand. Now it's time to wind down. Another great tip: take a warm shower before bed. Warm water relaxes the muscles and releases the tension that builds up in the neck, shoulders, and knees throughout the day. Going to sleep with a more relaxed body is a gift we can give ourselves every single night. These 3 habits, moving with kindness, eating with awareness, and sleeping with care, are like a soft dance between you and your body. And the most beautiful part, they don't require a prescription, just intention. There's an old saying, those who care for the roots enjoy the shade. And that's exactly it. These simple habits are the roots of your health. They may not be loud or promise miracles, but they build, in the quiet rhythm of your days, a lighter life, one with less pain and more presence. And if, so far, you've connected with any of these stories, if something in this conversation has spoken directly to you, then it means this message is already doing some good. Now that we've talked about gentle movement, nourishing foods, and the healing power of rest, I want to share something that may be the most important point in our entire conversation. Because in the end, it's not just the knees, the back, or the shoulders that ache. Sometimes, what's hurting the most is something we can't point to with a finger. It's the heaviness in our days. It's the feeling that time is slipping away. It's that tiredness that we can't quite explain. And that's why this third habit that helps reduce joint pain without medication has everything to do with something you carry deep inside your chest and maybe haven't paid attention to in a while: the joy of living with purpose. Believe me, the way you live has a direct impact on the pain you feel. There's research that shows people who engage in activities they love, gardening, journaling, crocheting, playing music, spending time with grandchildren, even helping neighbors, tend to experience less chronic pain, not because the pain disappears completely, but because their heart and attention are focused on something meaningful. It's as if the body says, this is worth it. I'll hold back the pain just a bit so you can enjoy this. I know. It might sound too simple to be true, but sometimes the solution we've been looking for is hidden in the simplicity. When was the last time you did something just because it brought you joy? Not because it was needed or helpful or part of your routine, but simply because your heart asked for it? And if you don't remember, that's okay. That happens to a lot of people. But it's possible to rediscover that path. And it can start gently, with a silent morning walk, with a notebook where you write what you're feeling, with a phone call to that friend who hasn't heard your voice in a while, with a moment of prayer or simply watching the wind move through the trees. Everyone finds their own way, because when the soul is cared for, the body feels it. It lets go. It relaxes. It responds with gratitude. Many people believe that after 60, life inevitably begins to decline. But let me tell you something important. That's not true. What really happens is that many people forget they still have power over their choices. And it doesn't matter if you're 60, 70, 80, or beyond. As long as you're here, breathing, listening to this message, you still have the ability to choose a better life. You can still decide to treat your body with kindness, nourish yourself wisely, sleep in peace, and fill your days with things that matter. Maybe your joint pain is simply your body's way of asking for more presence, more attention, more care. Maybe it's not saying you're too old. Maybe it's gently saying, slow down and love yourself more. If there's one thing that aging teaches us, it's that not everything has to be rushed. Sometimes the answer we've been searching for is in the patience of caring for ourselves, just a little every day. And here's what I truly hope you take away from this. You deserve to live with more lightness, more comfort, and more joy. It doesn't matter your age, your history, or the pain you've carried. Your life is still a gift, and you can unwrap that gift every day with simple actions filled with intention. So if something in this conversation touched your heart, share it with someone you love. Maybe they too need to be reminded that living well isn't a privilege reserved for the young. It's a right for those who choose to take care of themselves. Tell me in the comments, which of these habits are you already practicing? Or which one do you want to start trying today? I read every message with care, and it's always a joy to know that we're walking this journey together. And if this video helped you in any way, please like it, share it with friends or family. Let's spread these seeds of health, well-being, and hope. Because growing older doesn't have to mean living in pain or limitation. Aging can and should be a time of discovery, care, and peace. A time to choose more wisely, to say yes to what feels good and no to what no longer fits. And you can start right now. Your journey to relief, balance, and lightness can begin with 3 simple daily gestures. Moving your body with kindness, eating with intention, and living with joy. Believe it, your body hears everything you do with it, and it responds with gratitude. May your path from today be smoother, lighter, and with less pain. And always remember, life after 60 can still be full of energy, choices, and happiness. I'll see you in the next video.